call this meeting of the Attleboro Municipal Council to order. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Acting Madam Clerk, is everybody here tonight? What do we have for
We have
attendance?
9 members here tonight, 9 counselors.
9 counselors,
Yep.
and 1 counselor attending remotely.
Ms. Sawyer.
Ms. Sawyer.
Remotely.
And as such, we need to do a roll call attendance. So can we kick that off, starting with Counselor Angelo?
Sure. Counselor Angelo.
Present.
Counselor Waterman.
Present.
Counselor Sawyer.
Present.
Counselor McIntyre.
Present.
Vice President Dolan.
Present.
Counselor Reynolds.
Here.
Counselor Morrissey.
Here.
Counselor Tavares.
Here.
We have 9 members.
Sorry.
President Kobus. Apologies for missing you.
Of course. 9 members here. Thank you. And next up, I'd like to move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion is in order. It's the summer. We're doing things a little bit out of order. Any questions on that? What's that? Yeah, and we're going to, we won't have committee of the whole tonight as part of that. So any other questions? Hearing none, because we have a member remote, we'll require a roll call vote, and we'll start with Counselor Tavares.
Counselor Tavares.
Here.
Counselor Morrissey.
Here.
Counselor Reynolds.
Here.
Vice President Dolan.
Yay.
Excuse me.
Is this to suspend the rules?
Suspend the rules.
Oh, yes, sorry.
My apologies.
Yeah, look what
Sure
you did.
can.
Everybody followed. Everybody followed.
This is to suspend the rules.
Counselor Tavares.
Yes.
Counselor Morrissey.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Dolan.
Yes.
Counselor McIntyre.
Yes.
Counselor Sawyer.
Yes.
Counselor Waterman.
Yes.
Counselor Angelo.
Yes.
President Kobus.
Yes.
All right, we have 9 yeas.
We are now operating under suspended rules. Acting Madam Clerk, will you read the first public hearing, please?
Absolutely. Public hearings for August 18th. Regarding a petition from National Grid and Verizon New England Incorporated requesting permission to install 1 new JO pole on Thatcher Street, 50 feet east of the center line of the intersection of Green Hill Avenue and Thatcher Street.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this? Anyone to speak in favor? Is there anyone to speak in opposition? Is there anyone to speak neither for nor against? Hearing none. Councilor Dolan, do you see any reason to keep this public hearing open?
I raised my hand. I don't understand how I
Alright.
get pulled up and you don't even see it.
I did not. Please, Mr. Carr.
Yes, thank you.
Are you
So I
speaking
wanted to
in
speak-
favor
I wanted
or
to
in
speak
opposition
Neither
of?
for nor against.
Neither for nor against, okay?
Yes, trying to answer Mr. Coates. The one thing, I think there's another speaker that wants to speak after me. You almost ignored 2 speakers there, sir. You gotta be careful with that. So anyways, I wanted to speak neither for nor against this topic. I just find it quite troubling that we're not having a committee of the whole, especially after you violated that child's rights and then that news article came out that said that I was gonna talk about everything in the public hearings during committee of the whole. So I just find it like you guys are just trying to skirt around that. You know that I'm gonna challenge you on the legality of you blocking people talking about topics that were in public hearings, and you deliberately got rid of committee of the whole when your schedule permits that the first and third Tuesday of every month you have to have committee of the whole. And then the first time when you suspended the rules, you never clarified what rules you were suspending. I'm glad you did it this time. I just want
Min-
to point some of these things out.
Mr. Kerr, do you have
I'm already
anything
speaking. I'm already
on
speaking.
the topic of the public hearing that we're talking about tonight?
If you don't interrupt me, you would have heard that I said I was done speaking, sir. Please do not talk over me. Learn your place, sir. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I believe Mr. Kerr was speaking.
Yeah, Mr. Kerr was. He said he was done. Can you hear me speaking now, though?
I can.
Okay,
Please state your name for the record.
Yep, Joey Ford, 44 Smith Street, Attleboro, founder and leader, parent data force, independent educational watchdog and reform initiative. You might be familiar with me from all of my times commenting over at the school committee. The item that you're talking about with any lines on the road, all of this stuff is important, especially when we're thinking about the disabled people, because they need to be able to have good signage and good lines and stuff. But the one problem for disabled people that I really want to get into is the ADA accommodations. I don't know how we can be talking about lines in the road when the ADA process is completely broken. The interactive process I've been involved in now for multiple months and trying to get remote access due to my son having Down syndrome and him being diapered. I can't just bring him in to the city hall. There's no place for me to change him. I need an adult-sized changing table. Otherwise, you can provide me Zoom access. I've given mayoral pleas. I've walked into the office. I've left letters. I've tried everything that I can to just get access for me and my disabled child, but for some reason, this is impossible with Attleboro. I have sent over 40 different ADA accommodation requests in the past month to try to stress test how this works in other places, in other cities, and even in other states. And about half of them have already completed this. I already have the accommodation in hand, ready to go, and I've exercised my right to speak. So I really think that you guys need to be doing this. What Mr. Kerr has been saying all this time is absolutely correct. I understand his frustrations, and I myself am thinking of suing you guys as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak neither for nor against? Hearing none. Councilor Dolan, do you see any reason to keep this public hearing open?
I don't.
I declare this public hearing closed. Acting Clerk.
Public hearing regarding a new Class 1 application from Attleboro Auto Ventures, LLC, doing business as Graco Chevrolet Buick GMC of Attleboro, 103 Washington Street, with 15 customer parking spaces, 300 display spaces, and 45 storage spaces.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor? Please.
Good evening. My name is Ben Dowling. I am an attorney with an office in Plainville, and I represent Attleboro Auto Ventures, LLC, which is the applicant for the Class 1 license, which is before you this evening. And I just have some brief information to provide as background to the application that's already been submitted. Thank you. You can, although this is a new application, you can think of this as a transfer of an existing Class 1 license, which is in place for that location at 103 Washington Street, which is a Chevy Buick GMC dealership. Attleboro Auto Ventures is purchasing the dealership as well as the land. And so that's what's brought us here before you tonight, seeking the Class 1 license. The Attleboro Auto Ventures is its parent organization is Greco Automotive, which owns dealerships more or less up and down the East Coast, several in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, as well as Florida. And so in terms of operations for the property, the operations at the property will be very similar to what's been experienced by the motoring public thus far. It will remain a Chevy Buick dealership, and there will be a rebranding associated with the change. And Attleboro Auto Ventures does have plans to make some improvements to the property and to the operations. But those are, they haven't been fully finalized yet, but there would eventually be hopefully some improvements to the property, which I could detail further if the council were interested in hearing about that. I think with that, I'll stop if there are any questions from the council.
Are there any questions? Questions? Outstanding. Mr. Dowling, it's great to see you, by the way.
Good to see you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anyone else to speak in favor? Is there anyone to speak in opposition?
Hi, my name's Kathy Costa. I live at 130 Cumberland Ave. My concern is with the dealership, are they gonna be doing any blasting in the area? That's my main concern. Years ago, they did a lot of blasting, they did a lot of damage to my house, and my insurance company would not cover it, but they would cover my neighbor and across the street. So my concern is blasting. They can chisel all they want, but it's the blasting.
So the rules of the public hearing is that like people can only speak once. But we can, if you provide your email address to Jennifer in the office.
Sure.
We can get back to you with answers to that
Okay.
at a later time.
Sounds great.
Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
Just go into the office and talk to Jennifer, and
Okay.
I can get the answers to that
All
back to
right,
you.
thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak in opposition?
I'm not opposed, but I have a question. So I live across the street from her. And there is a retention pond in that dealership now that drains in a culvert into a pipe that drains to the back of our yard and goes into the brook. So I did hear him say that he has all the plans. This is just his initial plans. So when they're adding on to the dealership and changing things on that lot, will we have access to that before they do anything?
And so all of that information will be part of, if there are changes, that will be part of the planning board, and if there's large scale changes, that will be part of the planning board design and that process.
Butters would be notified.
And the butters will be notified, yes.
I mean, she got a certified letter, I did not get a certified letter.
So across the street. So,
So, but it affects us
Right.
because all that water, they built a big trench between Kathy's house and Pat Brady's house. And it goes under the street, a culvert, goes through my yard and drains in the back and goes into that brook that goes out to 123.
so you might want to exchange phone numbers, and abutters would get notified, but maybe not across the street.
Well, I only knew because Kathy called me to tell me that, would I get a certified letter? I didn't. And,
Right.
you know, I understand them wanting to improve it or whatever, but if it affects our property and affects us, that's what we're more interested in than anything.
Right.
I mean,
A question.
Councilor Reynolds?
Yeah, I have a question for
Yes.
Gail. Gail, does that flood? Do you ever have trouble with that when it's?
well, in a really, really, really bad rainstorm, that brook will come up to part of our property.
The
It
back.
never reaches our house,
Okay.
but it will flood. And you'll also notice on 123, that there was a time when we had a flood,
Yeah.
was it last year, whatever?
Yes,
It
yeah.
flooded across. That's because it can't go fast enough, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it comes from that Route 1 area. And they actually did that years ago because Route 1 would get puddles in the road. So they built that culvert and built a bigger drain in our yard.
Okay. As Councilor Kovas said, President Kovas said, that would come up if they were going to do certain things to that culvert or drain further or heavier. They would have to come before the planning board, I'm pretty sure, and we would see that again. And as Mr. Dowling Attorney Dowling is here, I'm sure he's taking notice of it.
Yeah, I mean, they have a retention pond on their property now, and when that fills up, it does, right now, last 2 years, not so much, because it's dry,
Yeah.
but in rainy seasons, it does. It never reaches our home. It comes up pretty far, when it's really, really bad. But I mean, if they put another retention, would it make it even worse?
No, I'm sure it would be.
That's the only question we have.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Okay. Thanks, Gail.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for the speaker? No. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in opposition? Is there anyone that would like to speak neither for nor against? Councilor Morrissey, do you see any reason to keep this public hearing open?
I don't.
I declare this public hearing closed. And please drop your information off with Jennifer Reed in the council office, and we'll get details back to you with regards to some of those answers, all right?
Public hearing. Regarding a request for review of business practices of 100% auto wholesalers, 21 Washington Street.
Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor?
Hello. Good evening.
Just your name and address, or who you're representing for the record.
My name is Cassandra Nieves, and I am here today because of my experience with 100% auto wholesalers. I don't really know where to begin. I'm really nervous. It's been a lot. Very an emotional experience with them, to be honest.
In speaking in favor, or?
And I'm sorry, for myself, yeah. I'm here representing myself.
Point of order. I think this is a misunderstanding. Because she's here, I think she's here to speak against, not in favor.
Yes, against.
Okay. The way the public hearings work is initially it's people to speak in favor, and then it's in opposition.
This is her public hearing.
What's that?
This is her. This is her public hearing. She's coming, she was coming to speak.
Oh, okay. Got it. Never mind, to review never mind. You're good.
Okay, so yes, well, I mean, I did send out a letter to you guys, and I tried to put as much as I can in there. I have documentation, pictures, videos, call logs, multiple visits. I've had other auto shops, I've had the tire shops that were involved, everybody involved. I have so much evidence backing up everything that I have in this letter. I'm really here today. One, yes, it would be great to be able to have a vehicle to drive today, but I feel like I'm a part of a bigger pattern here. They knew of my situation and what I'm going through, and they took full advantage, and if they could do that to me, I can't imagine anybody else that's in my situation or anything else. But I've tried so hard to work with this company and give them every opportunity to fix what has gone down, and now we're ultimately in the position where I'm left with nothing. I'm left to just fix it all on my own. I don't have a vehicle that works. I had to have it towed. I've literally done everything possible. I don't know where else to go. I've tried to reach out to Attorney General's office. They told me it could take a really, really long time. So I'm really just here for any help, anything I could get, really just to help me with this, because I've tried so hard, and I know I'm not the only person. There's no way with what I'm going through and with what they've saw my situation, everything. I was so honest with them, and so I tried to work with them every chance I could get, and I ultimately just left here now.
Can you summarize your particular story?
Yes. Okay, so from the beginning, me and my mom went to 100% auto wholesalers to buy a vehicle. I am going through a lot of medical situations right now, so my finances are really rough. So she did this for me to be able to go to the hospital, all my appointments, weekly on a weekly basis to help me out to get to these. And when we had purchased the vehicle, we initially test drove it, and he told me there was a light just for the tire pressure, that was the only thing wrong with the car. He would fix that as soon as the car was ready to be picked up, and then be ready to pick up the next day. So we actually purchased it that day because I really needed a vehicle as soon as possible to be able to get to these appointments, and she has her own stuff going on, so this is why it was so important to do this as soon as possible. And he knew of all this and was very adamant on giving me a very safe car and a very liable car that I could rely on. And when I went to go call to pick it up the next day, it took them multiple days for them to answer me, multiple days for them to tell me it was not ready. I was not sure why it wasn't ready because they said there was only a tire pressure issue. When a week later came that I went to go pick up the car, there was no inspection sticker on it. None of the tire issues, the tires that you said it was going to fix, or the tire pressure symbol or anything was fixed. So I was confused as to why it took so long to even pick it up in the first place. I was told by them that as long as I took off my old plates and put it on, I could legally drive it. And now finding out that I was never supposed to drive it off the lot with an invalid sticker. There was not even a rejection sticker on it. It was an invalid sticker. I had that invalid sticker on there for at least a few months before they even put a rejection sticker on there, and it didn't even pass. I could tell you there's so many things I could keep going into. The first day I took it home, the exhaust fell off and all the lights illuminated. My check engine, I've never seen anything like this. It was so unprofessional. I was left in the middle of the road stranded. The next day, I had a verbal request to please refund it and please give me back my money, or even just give me something else on the lot. They couldn't even do that. They told me that I was required to let them fix it, that they had legally they had a chance to fix it. So I was like, okay, I'll work with you. They gave me the car back in a few hours and said everything was fixed. And I was like, there's no way. I drove it home. Everything else came back on. None of the tires were fixed again. So then the next day I brought it back to them, and then I did a written request because I was like, at least I did a verbal one, let me have proof of my written request. Denied again. They denied me a rental, which was a part of my warranty. There's so many things. I have it all in here, but ultimately I went back at least multiple times a month, sat in there because I don't have anybody else to help me with my vehicle for hours some days, for hours, just sitting in there waiting, stating that they would fix it, stating that they were gonna be there, fix their wrongs, right their wrongs for me. And every time it was just like a Band-Aid. And every time I got my car, nothing was fixed. There was maybe some little things in between, like a wheel bearing they fixed, but engine noises still continued, the lights still continued to illuminate, tires still were not put on. I never had I didn't have a inspection sticker for months. Then it got rejected. That was a whole nother process. I've never witnessed anything so unprofessional, ever.
Councilor Dolan?
Thank you. So I had read your letter when we first received it, and then I reread it. I don't see any names. Can you tell us who you dealt with?
Yes.
Did you speak with Onassis?
Onassis is the owner.
Yep.
I also spoke with Junior, the son. I also spoke with Lee, who helped me with purchasing the car and any legal documents or any documents like that. And then the mechanic, I did not get his name. Unfortunately, I did not get his name, but the mechanic as well, I could put a face to it. Or I just don't know his name. I don't remember it.
So, if I could follow up.
Please.
So the multiple times that you went back, did you deal mostly with Onassis and his son?
So in the beginning, I dealt with Onassis until he basically told me off. And then it took a few weeks for his son to call me and apologize on his dad's behalf and said, just work with me from now on. My dad's, a whole nother person. So I tried to work with Junior. And then it was a whole bunch of back and forth of not communicating between them two. So Junior he was trying to help me little by little, but ultimately I think Onassis runs a lot of it. And the miscommunication, nothing was set. Yes, Junior's his son, yes, he was trying to help me out, but he was the one that let me take it off the lot without an inspection sticker. Everybody involved in this, nothing was professional with every single person involved. They all knew what was going on. They all were aware of the situations and still let me drive the car off the lot many times in unsafe conditions.
Please.
Can I? So typically, we would call them in before us, to speak with us so we can question them. Ultimately, this is civil, but that doesn't mean that we can't do anything to help you out. We've had Onassis here before in front of us. I'm not sure if you've read reviews online or anything.
No, but I, just with my experience, I could tell I'm not the only person, and I pray nobody else has to go through what I went through.
Well, that ship has sailed, so we've had him in front of us before, and I think if everybody would agree that we would need to have him come back so we can discuss this with him, because having a license to sell cars in the city isn't a right, it's a privilege.
And I've tried, so sorry, it gets me so emotional because I've tried so hard to work with them, and they knew my story, and I think that's what hurts more, is to be able to take advantage of people that are really down and out.
Yep.
And I've tried so hard to work with them and be so kind and respectful back, but it's been a long process with them.
I'm sorry that you've been through this, and again, like I said, it's a privilege, and we have to look out for the consumer, the residents, anybody that buys from them, anybody that lives near them, anything to that effect. So your letter and you coming here, I just want to make sure that that hasn't fallen on deaf ears. And I'm not the chair of that committee, but I suspect we'll have him before us regarding this
Thank you so much.
incident.
As far as that goes,
Counselor Angelo, and then we'll go to Counselor Morrissey.
When, just to refresh my memory, when did you first purchase the car?
So we purchased the car on January 29th.
And this has been, so where's that car now?
It is sitting in my lot, unable to be driven. I didn't want to do anything with
So
it
this has
just in
been going
case.
on this long.
Yeah. And I do have dates, documentation, videos, records, everything, call logs, everything. I was from the very first day I had a feeling I make sure I keep records of everything. From the day I took a car home and everything fell off of it.
Counselor Morrissey.
if you could give us, to Jennifer, all your backup, because we do have your letter, but I would love to have all the
Of course.
additional information. And I honestly thought they were going to be here tonight, because I know Kate called them and told them that, a formal complaint has come in. So I guess there was just some miscommunication, because I did expect them to be in front of the council.
Yeah, and you can certainly call him in before your committee pronto.
Counselor Waterman.
Yes. I was also chair in the past and had dealings with that company. If you don't mind my saying, when he basically told you off, what does that mean?
Well, honestly, it wasn't a pleasant conversation, and it was also in front of my daughter, so that was not very nice. But excuse my language, I'm not even saying F off, and that he's not going to give me no rental, no exchange on the lot, like, go fend for yourself. And that's pretty much what it was. Swore at me, everything, and then click, hung up the phone. That's when I was like, wow, I have never. And then maybe a few days later, his son called me, apologized for his dad, and was like, please just work with me instead. You don't have to go through him. And so I tried to work with Junior. I really did.
Yeah,
and
I'm done.
yeah.
And you tried to you tried to find another car in its place?
I tried to ask for an exchange, and they denied me of that. They refused that. They also refused to give me a rental anytime my car was getting worked on, which is a part of my warranty.
Counselor Morrissey.
And can I just ask how you financed it? Was it cash, or did you take a loan with them? Or?
Yep, just cash in full.
Interesting.
Any other questions?
No, I apologize. Would you be available to come back again?
Absolutely.
Because, yeah, like I said, I thought they were going to be here, so we will bring them in front of this council.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I mean, as much as it'd be nice to, I think regardless of whatever happens, I know I'm out of a vehicle, that's the tough part, but I really, really just hope to God this doesn't happen to anybody else further. That's my most biggest thing, because, yeah.
It's my understanding that it has happened, unfortunately, more than once.
I guess my only other question would be, in this situation, do you guys have any advice on what I can do for legal advice or anything for this? I did submit thing with the Attorney General is it is taking a bit. I haven't gotten a response yet, but
The Attorney General would be my advice. I don't know if anyone else has.
Well, it depends. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I was just gonna say, have you tried to file a civil suit in the courthouse?
I have not.
Because under a certain amount, which I'm assuming it's a used car, it's a certain amount, you should check into that, because, believe me, they can't force them to pay you back, but it will be on record too.
Okay.
Councilor Angelo?
I've dealt with them, because someone in my ward had approached me with a similar issue. I personally went down there myself, talked to Onassis myself, and things got taken care of immediately, to the point where they fixed more than what they were actually responsible for. Not saying that is what happened, but he approached me. It was a neighbor of mine in my ward, and it was the only thing I could think of doing, so I went down there personally and handled it.
Can I just say something to you?
Please, Councilor Dolan.
We can keep the
Vice
public
President.
hearing open, or we can bring him before the license committee.
I would prefer if we close this public hearing.
Okay.
In
Can I just say one thing, Derek?
Please.
So when we bring him before us, it'll be in front of the license committee.
Okay.
You're obviously more than welcome to be here, but you won't be able to speak
Okay.
at that point.
Okay.
Because it'll be in a committee hearing. But you can be here, to see what he has to say. And as far as any of your paperwork, Jen in the office will make copies. We don't expect you to hand over any originals of anything.
I actually I made copies already of everything.
Oh,
so
great.
yeah.
Perfect. But we'll talk with them.
Thank
and
you
see
so
what we can
much.
do.
And thank
And then
you for
someone will be
hearing
in
me out.
touch with you. And we'll let you know when he'll be coming before us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
I'm sorry you went through this.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time, everybody. And do you want me to stay after to be able to give this out to all of you?
If you can just talk to Jennifer in the council office.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
can
so
leave
much.
everything with her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else to speak in favor? Is there anyone to speak in opposition?
I would like to speak in opposition.
Please, Mr. Carr.
So this is some advice for that young woman who has been defrauded. There is something in Massachusetts with Mass Health called PT1, that they will pick you up, they will bring you to all of your doctor's appointments, and then they will pick you up from your doctor's appointments and bring you home. If you have Mass Health, you qualify for this, it's completely free of charge. I would definitely start utilizing this in the short term, as this will definitely help you with your ride transportation issue. The second thing of great concern here is that there's numerous of you counselors that have spoken about acknowledging that this guy has done this to other people. I don't understand why does it have to come to this girl needs to get victimized to come in here to speak for you guys all of a sudden to start to care. There was 3 or 4 of you that literally said, especially Morrissey, oh yeah, I know this has definitely happened to other people. If you know that this has happened to other people and you have the ability to bring them before the licensing board, why haven't you done this? Why would you allow someone who's named Onassis? What the heck kind of name is that? Probably a scamster. Oh, turns out he is. Why would you allow this person to operate some sort of a license selling things to the great people of Attleboro when you know that he's defrauding them? That's disgusting. Why would you allow this? And then the fact is you knew this before this girl got victimized, so you just let her get victimized and now you're going to care. That's the tough part. If it's under $7,000, you can go to small claims court. You can do that yourself with all of her evidence. She would gladly win. Statute 93A allows her to sue for treble damages, triple damages. So if her car was $6,500, she could walk away with almost, $19,500? After this, that's pretty good leverage to get Mr. Onassis to clean up his act and to fix these things. But I think the city needs to crack down and prevent these things from happening in the first place. I know that you guys are really corrupt and you allow all these civil rights violations to occur. No wonder why you have allowed this girl to be victimized, but you guys could have stopped this a while ago. Why the hell is someone named Onassis selling cars? I mean, come on. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else to speak in opposition?
I'll just say really quickly.
No, unfortunately, with the rules, like, you're only allowed to speak once, but thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in opposition? Is there anyone who would like to speak neither for nor against? Hearing none, Councilor Morrissey, would you like to close this public hearing? And I would encourage us to close this.
Yes, I would like to close this.
Thank you. I declare this public hearing closed. And
Mayor's
acting
communication.
Madam Clerk,
All right.
last public hearing.
Regarding the following proposed amendment to the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro by adding new section 1-17 War Monuments and Memorials Commission.
Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor?
I'd like to speak in favor.
Oh,
Oh, there's another gentleman. I didn't see him. Sorry.
1 second. Thank you. Ben?
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Ben Quell, I'm a citizen of Middleborough, but I'm employed by the city of Attleboro as the veterans agent, and I'd like to speak in favor of this. I think I've made reference to in the past that, a city as old as Attleboro and with as much history as Attleboro, we have a tremendous amount of monuments, war monuments throughout our great city. When the mayor came up with the idea of putting in a GWAT monument, we were looking around at different areas of the city to do this project, and one of the areas we looked at was the Commons. And when we were out there, we had some outside consultants come on site and start looking at our different areas. And while they were on site, they were looking at our other war monuments, like the names and the pillars at the Commons, and they were picking up a lot of, it would just be, the degradation of some of our monuments just based on age and weather. I mean, this is New England. We get the harshest of weather. So even things made of stone, granite, brass, they're going to start showing their ages. And they started talking to members of our group and some of the leadership about the need for us to think about doing some upkeep of our monuments. And some of these things could be as simple as a power washing. Others are going to take some waterproofing. A lot of the water gets behind these brass fittings and they start rusting them out. I've also brought up in the past, some of these monuments have flagpoles. And although I do have a budget from the council to replace flags, which we do, and that's just half of it. A lot of these flagpoles are really starting to show their age to a point where some of them are not even usable anymore. The ropes have rotted out, the trucks on top are rusted out, and some of the brass that kind of brings the flags up and down have all broken off. I have a big box in my office of just stuff, carabiners, clips, things that we bring out with us, myself and Stacy, just in the event that we can't actually get the flag on there. It's something we can just snap on or rig up just so we can get the flag up there. And it's not just the American flag, we'll have the state flag, the city flag. So it really just I just want to myself, the mayor, we just want to present to the council the need of having a small committee of concerned citizens that would get together and start to inventory this quite large collection of valuable war monuments and start coming up with ideas, and we can actually go to outside resources to kind of come up with what we need to get these things looking the way they should. And of course, we're going to be looking to establish donation accounts. I think that this can be well funded with donation accounts like so many other things, and we just need your permission to actually move forward and try to put this committee together.
Perfect. Councilor Angela?
Thank you, President Kovas. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it. This is, Councilor of President Kovas and myself being veterans, and obviously yourself as well. And so this is great. I really appreciate this, and I applaud this, and I'm looking forward to this getting taken care of. And and preserving, our history and veterans, will love this and maybe we'll see Jerry Lynch part of this too at some point.
We might, yeah. We have a lot of energy behind it.
Yeah.
Love it. Are there any other questions or comments? Councilor Waterman.
I can just repeat what you just heard here. I think it's so important it actually sounded to me like in a sense, it's beginning to fall apart. Am I correct saying that? Is that going too far?
I wouldn't say they're falling apart, but in fairness,
affected.
Affected, right. It's the same thing with our cemeteries. I get calls from people who have noticed that we have, look, we're a city older than the country. We got old stuff and things will get overgrown, so we do the best we can. But we just, I think at some point though, it would be nice to have a committee that can really just have eyeballs on this stuff. And then it would, we can meet and then they could give me suggestions as to what could be done. It's important to have these donation accounts so we have money coming in. I don't have to ask you for money, and I just need your permission to have this committee, because it's your property, to look at these things and give them a facelift where they need to, or to fix them before they really become a problem. I can assure you that if it's anything more significant than a touch-up or a facelift or something, I would come before you and ask you to let you know if this is going to be like a real project that would entail something more than that. And there's not a lot of specialists you can go to for this kind of stuff. So there are people out there and whatnot who can do this work, but it has to be done right. And I think if it continues to go the way it is, whether it be a monument or a flagpole, it's going to start to really. I think it'll be stuff that you'll start hearing about, just like I am. Okay. Every time there's a flagpole without a flag on it, I tell them, look, I would love to put a flag up, but I can't. We got a couple monuments like that already. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Councilor Reynolds.
Ben, have you spoken to Deb Gould at all, like how the money would come in and how it would be collected? And
Well, we already have, I have a monuments. I have a line item.
You have a line item.
Fund, okay. But I think though, we would like to see whether or not we could put another line item for donations.
Yes.
Yes, and so I'll definitely be in we're in the preliminaries here. This is me coming to you first. But yes, I do plan on getting with her and talking about how we're going to check, dot the i's, cross the t's.
Great, thank you so much.
Collected, yeah.
Any other comments, questions?
Last comment I would say is September 11th at 11 o'clock. You will be officially the owners of a brand new, awesome GWAT monument. The first, the first in the city for that particular war era.
Thank you.
Hope you can be there. It'll be ready just in time.
All right. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor? Mr. Kerr, you still with us? I think we lost him. Anyone else who would like to speak in favor? Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition? Is there anyone who would like to speak neither for nor against? Hearing none. Councilor Tavares, do you see any reason to keep this open?
I do not.
I declare this public hearing closed, and we can move on to the mayor's communication.
All right. Dear Municipal Council, I respectfully submit the following items for your information, consideration, and approval. 1. A communication from Sturdy Health President and CEO Amy Brewer regarding the donation of equipment necessary to add automated push-button activated lighting to 3 existing crosswalks located on O'Neill and School Streets. The equipment has value of $8,545. Motion: accept the donation of equipment to add automated push-button activated lighting in accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
City property and claims.
2. A communication from Chief of Police Kyle P. Hagney regarding the need for funds for step increase inadvertently not paid in October 2025. Motion, transfer $2,614.17 from account 121-01000-511000, police full-time salary, to account 121-01000-514050, police prior year salaries.
Public safety, and if you want, you don't have to read the account numbers.
Okay, thank you. A communication from Director of Council on Aging Kelly Lee regarding the receipt of MCOA funding award of $9,704.50. This funding will be used to purchase Chromebooks with embedded Wi-Fi for the homebound older adults at risk of social isolation. Motion, approve expenditure of $9,704.50 and any future grant payments in accordance with the MCOA funding award in accord with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
Finance Committee.
A communication from Board of Assessors Chair Donald Smith regarding the payment in lieu of tax agreement pilot at 103 Richardson Avenue, as authorized by vote number 23 on December 5th, 2023. The Mayor and the Board of Assessors entered into discussion and negotiation with Attleboro Renewable Energy LLC regarding a pilot agreement for a solar photovoltaic facility planned for development at 103 Richardson Avenue. At a meeting held on July 8, 2026, the Board of Assessors reviewed and voted to approve the attached solar pilot agreement. The agreement was also reviewed and approved as to form by Solicitor Mello. Motion, approve the pilot agreement at 103 Richardson Avenue between Attleboro Renewable Energy LLC and the City of Attleboro.
Finance Committee, and for this item, a pilot agreement does not require a public hearing, but similar to how we've agreed to have public hearings for a tie agreement, in an effort to have transparency, Vice President Dolan and I decided that we would call for a public hearing for this. I'd like to call for a public hearing on September 15th.
Second.
Motion is in order, and this requires a roll call vote, and we'll start with, where are we?
Sister Angelo.
Counselor Angelo, thank you.
Counselor Angelo.
Yes.
Counselor Waterman.
Yes.
Counselor Sawyer.
Yes.
Counselor McIntyre.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor Morrissey.
Yes.
Counselor Tavares.
Yes.
President Colbis.
Yes,
We have 9 yeas and 0 nays.
motion passes.
All right. 5. Following recent conversations with City Clerk Jackson concerning costs involved with posting hearing notices for certain license and permit applications in the classified ad section of the local newspaper, we determined that the cost of said advertisements is more appropriately borne by the license or permit applicant than the city. Additionally, shifting the cost of the classified advertisement to the applicant will yield thousands of dollars in annual savings to the city. We discussed this matter with the city solicitor, who confirmed that this would be an allowable and lawful change in practice. Accordingly, I propose an amendment to Section 9-1.1 of the revised ordinances that would require certain license and permit applicants to pay the costs of posting hearing notices in the newspaper. Motion, amend Section 9-1.1 of the revised ordinances by adding the following sentence at the end of the existing paragraph. For any license or permit application requiring a public hearing, the cost of publication for posting notice of said hearing in a newspaper of general circulation in the city shall be paid by the applicant for said license or permit.
Ordinances Committee,
Sit.
and this also requires a public hearing. Does September 15th work, Councilor Tavares?
It does.
Second.
Motion is in order. This requires a roll call vote, starting with Councilor Tavares.
Counselor Tavares.
Yes.
Counselor Morrissey.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Dolan.
Yes.
Counselor McIntyre.
Yes.
Counselor Sawyer.
Yes.
Counselor Waterman?
Yes.
Counselor Angelo?
Yes.
President Cobus?
Yes.
We have 9 yeas and 0 nays.
Just a quick shout out to the council admin, Jennifer, for sort of finding this and coming up with this idea. So
Yes.
thank you, Jennifer.
Kudos.
Please continue.
6, a communication from Elections Office Manager Sharon Fortune regarding equipment the Elections Office would like to surplus. In accord with Section 2-12 of the revised ordinances, this information was provided to all city departments and yielded no interest. Motion to declare designated Elections Office equipment as surplus and available for disposition. 15 aluminum portable voting booths with cases and 14 AC/DC adapters.
City property and claims.
7, a communication from Library Director Amy Rillinger regarding items the library would like to surplus. In accord with Section 2-12 of the revised ordinances, this information was provided to all city departments and yielded no interest. Motion to declare designated library department items as surplus and available for disposition. 6 wooden ladder back chairs, 4 upholstered swivel chairs.
City property and claims.
8, a communication from Chief of Police Kyle P. Hagney regarding equipment the police department would like to surplus. In accord with Section 2-12 of the revised ordinances, this information was provided to all city departments and yielded no interest. Motion to declare designated police department equipment as surplus and available for disposition. We have a 2004 BWCT trailer in poor condition.
City property and claims.
9, a communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler requesting authorization to pay prior year invoices to the Attleboro Police Department for police details needed for the installation of new sidewalks on Sturdy Street through Chapter 90 funds. There is no transfer of funds needed to pay these services. Motion to authorize paying 3 fiscal year 26 invoices to City of Attleboro Police totaling $7,530.28 through Chapter 90 funds.
Public Works Committee.
10, a communication from Riverwalk Arts regarding a donation of the Rain Keep sculpture and foundation with a value of $35,000 to be installed in the Robbins Park. The Park Commission has approved this project. Motion, accept the donation of the Rain Keep sculpture and foundation with a value of $35,000 in accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
City property and claims.
11, a communication from Director of Recreation Christy Clausen regarding the conditional award of the Community Development Block Grant to cover the salary costs for the youth advocates at the after-school youth program in the amount of $15,000. Motion to approve the expenditure of $15,000 during fiscal year 2027 of the Community Development Block Grant, and also approve any future grant amendments in accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
Public Works Committee.
12, a communication from the Director of Recreation, Christy Clausen, requesting a change of use in account appropriation and site improvements, continuing appropriation and site improvements from Willett Field Irrigation Project to support improvements at Willett Field to include the replacement of trees and other related site improvements. The original council vote was on February 1st, 2022, item 8. Motion, approve a change in use of $48,400 in account continuing appropriation and site improvements from Willett Field Irrigation Project to support other improvements at Willett Field.
Finance Committee.
13, after receiving the fiscal year 26 annual invoice from the Department of Environmental Protection related to 53 Falmouth Street, an unexpected one-time AUL activity and use limitation fee of $2,000 was added to the invoice. Motion, transfer $2,000 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account Citywide previous year's bills to pay in fiscal year 26 to the Commonwealth of Mass DEP.
Finance Committee.
14, a communication from Superintendent of Park and Forestry Derek Coursey regarding a donation of 3 benches valued at $375 new T signs valued at $1,025, and landscaping tools valued at $700 from Jewelry City Disc Golf. These items will be used to enhance the disc golf course at Highland Park. Motion accept the donation of 3 benches valued at $375, new T signs valued at $1,025, and landscaping tools valued at $700 in accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
Public Works Committee?
15, a communication from Superintendent of Park and Forestry, Derek Coursey, requesting funds to purchase a Mighty Products 40x40 shipping container canopy shelter kit. Motion, transfer $8,929.30 from account Citywide Reserved for Capital to account Park and Forestry Outdoor Facility Improvements to purchase a Mighty Products 40x40 shipping container canopy shelter kit.
Public Works Committee?
16, a communication from Superintendent of Park and Forestry, Derek Coursey, requesting funds to pay fiscal year 26 invoices for Amazon in the amount of $269.84. Motion, transfer $269.84 from account Park and Forestry's supplies equipment to Park and Forestry bills from previous years to pay fiscal year 26 Amazon invoices.
Public Works Committee?
17, a communication from Superintendent of Park and Forestry, Derek Coursey, regarding the need to pay 10 fiscal year 26 invoices for Amazon and 1 fiscal year 26 invoice for Graphic Innovations. A vote authorizing payment is needed to satisfy this debt. Motion, authorize $677.66 to pay fiscal year 26 Amazon invoices and authorize $52.10 to pay fiscal year 26 invoice to Graphic Innovations to Fund 2607.
Public Works Committee?
18, a communication from Attleboro Public Schools Director of Finance, Brittany Perella, regarding the following fiscal year 2026 fiscal obligations. Amazon, $477.44, AHS.
And if you just want to read the total.
Just the total amount?
Yeah.
Sure. So the total amount would be $54,366.41.
Of previous year's school bills. And Finance Committee?
19, a communication from Human Resource Director Lynn Davin and Budget and Administration Director Mason Lord regarding the memorandum of agreement between the City of Attleboro and the Public Library Employee Association between July 1st, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. Motion, transfer $23,416 from account Citywide Reserve Fund Labor Negotiations to the following accounts. $14,874 to account Public Library Salary and Wages Full-Time. $2,916 to account Public Library Salary and Wages Part-Time. $2,841 to account Public Library Night Differential. $2,450 to account Public Library Longevity. $335 to account Treasurer Medicare Tax.
Finance Committee?
20, a communication from Director of Recreation Christy Clausen is requesting funds to pay 2 fiscal year 26 invoices for Amazon. Motion, transfer $218.85 from account Recreation Supplies Rec Grounds to account Recreation Bills from previous years to pay fiscal year 26 invoices for Amazon.
Public Works?
21, a communication from Chief of Police Kyle P. Higney requesting the transfer of funds to cover expenses associated with fiscal year 26 invoices for veterinary services provided in support of animal control operations. Motion, transfer $1,453.54 from account Animal Control-Animal Control Services to account Animal Control bills from previous years to cover expenses associated with fiscal year 26 invoices for veterinary services.
Finance Committee?
22, we have received the resignation of Tucker McNulty from the Sustainability Commission. Please join me in thanking Mr. McNulty for his service to the city.
That's a FYI, and thank you for your services.
23, we received the resignation of Building Commissioner Bill McDonough effective August 28, 2026. Please join me in thanking Bill for his 17 years of service to the city and its residents.
That's also an FYI, and thank you, Bill, for your services.
24, I am pleased to inform you that the city has been awarded 3 fiscal year 27 state legislative earmarks. Senator Paul Feeney secured $40,000 in funds for the purpose of renovations to the Education Amphitheater at Capron Park Zoo and $15,000 for the purchase of active shooter gear for the Attleboro Police Department. Representatives Scanlon and Hawkins secured $20,000 for improvements to the otter exhibit at the zoo. We are grateful to our state delegation members for their support of these important projects. Motion. Approve the expenditure of legislative earmarks and also approve any further grant amendments in accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
Finance Committee.
25. I am very pleased to inform you that the city has been awarded 2 HUD Fiscal Year 26 Economic Development Initiative Community Project Funding Grants. Congressman Jake Auchincloss secured $2 million in earmark funds for improvements to the Bartek Center and $850,000 for downtown streetscape improvements. We are grateful to Congressman Auchincloss for his support of these important projects. Motion. Approve the expenditure of earmark funds and also approve any further grant amendments in accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro.
City Property and Claims.
26. For your information, I have made Assistant Water Superintendent Matthew Crotty the acting water superintendent until a decision is made for a permanent replacement of former water superintendent Dennis Morton, who resigned on August 3rd, 2026.
FYI.
27. A communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the need to pay 8 fiscal year 26 invoices to Amazon. Motion. Transfer $919.09 from account Public Works Supplies Equipments to account Public Works previous year's bills to pay fiscal year 26 Amazon invoices.
Public Works Committee.
28. A communication from Superintendent of Public Works Michael Tyler regarding the need to pay fiscal year 26 hoisting license reimbursement to a DPW employee. Motion. Transfer $101.25 from account Public Works license allowance to account Public Works previous year's bills to pay for fiscal year 26 hoisting license reimbursement to a DPW employee.
Public Works.
29. A communication from APS Director of Operations Mark Furtado regarding the need for $78,680 of additional funds for the replacement of a chiller at Thatcher Elementary School. You may recall that on February 3rd, 2026, the council voted to authorize the expenditure of $269,620 of insurance proceeds and appropriated $70,000 to cover additional related expenses not covered by the insurance proceeds related to this project. Thus, the amount of funding currently available is $339,620. The single bid recently received for the work, however, is $418,000. I can't say that. It's happening again. $418,300, leaving a gap of $78,680. Motion. Transfer $78,680 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for Capital to account Citywide Other Financing Uses, and to further transfer $78,680 from account Citywide Other Financing Uses to account Education Insurance Proceeds, $150,000 Other Financing Sources, to cover expenses related to the replacements of the Thatcher Elementary HVAC system not covered by insurance proceeds.
Finance Committee.
30, a memo from City Solicitor Peter Mello concerning the Highland Senior Affordable Apartments and Community Center project. In brief, the council voted on December 2nd, 2025 to require the ground lease be executed by the city and Neighbor Works no later than December 31st, 2027. This vote was amended an earlier vote taken on November 5th, 2024 that required the ground lease be executed by December 31st, 2025. On July 31st, 2026, the parties executed the land development agreement. This document will allow Neighbor Works to begin applying for the construction financing, including public and private funding, to support the project. It's very unlikely that the financing for a project of this magnitude will be secured before December 31st, 2027, and the ground lease cannot be executed in the absence of funding. Thus, in his memo, Solicitor Mello recommends the rescission of ground lease deadline so as to allow the project to proceed accordingly. Motion to 1, rescind any previously established deadlines for the execution of the ground lease agreement for the 5.496 acre Highland parcel identified as Assessor's Plat number 115, Lot 1B, including as established in municipal council votes taken on November 5th, 2024 and December 2nd, 2025. And 2, declare that such parcel shall remain available for disposition and that the mayor may execute such ground lease agreement after any previously imposed and hereby rescinded deadline.
City Property and Claims.
Sincerely, Kathleen D. Simone, Mayor.
Thank you. And if we can step back to number 11 briefly, I'd like to change the committee that one was assigned to. And if you'll recall, that motion was to approve a change in use.
CDBG block grant.
Sorry, number 11, to approve the expenditure of $15,000 during the fiscal year 27 community development block grant, and also approve any future grant amendments in accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinance of the City of Attleboro. For that one, I had said that we would assign that to Public Works. I'm going to change that and assign it to the Finance Committee. Traditionally, any of the CDBG items I assign to the Finance Committee. So just a quick change there. So number 11 goes to the Finance Committee. Good? Okay. And moving on to the Clerk's communication.
You got it. Clerk's communication. We have received a new Class 2 auto dealer application from Online Only Auto Sales, LLC, 728 Washington Street, with no customer or display spaces.
License Committee. And like to call for public hearing on September 15th, if that's okay with you, Councilor Morrissey? Okay.
Second.
Motion is in order. This requires a roll call vote. We'll start with Councilor Tavares.
All right, Councilor Tavares.
Yes.
Councilor Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilor Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Dolan.
Yes.
Councilor McIntyre.
Yes.
Councilor Sawyer.
I saw you say that. I saw you say yes. I didn't hear it.
Okay. Thank you. Councilor Waterman.
Yes.
Councilor Angelo.
Yes.
President Kobus.
Yes.
We have 9 yeas and 0 nays.
Motion passes.
All right, and the last thing we have on our clerk's communication, we have received a formal consumer dispute and licensing review notice from Michael Brownhill and Shante Romolo with regards to Courtesy Mitsubishi on Scott Street.
We'll assign that to the License Committee, and public hearing is not required. Thank you. And we can move on to committee reports. And we can start with Councilor Angelo. Everyone's going to need to call for a meeting at the next appropriate time. Councilor Angelo?
President Kobus, is this council or committee?
Full
Council.
Full council.
All right. For the docket of October 15th, 2024, I move to establish a community engagement committee by amending Section 2, administration of the revised ordinance, add Section 2-22, community engagement committee as follows. Attleboro Community Engagement Committee, Section 2-22.
Second.
Motion's in order. Counselor Angelo?
We discussed it in committee.
Perfect. Are there any further comments? Hearing none, we can move to a vote. This requires a roll call vote, and we'll start with
Mr. Angelo.
Counselor Angelo.
Counselor Angelo.
Yes.
Counselor Waterman.
Yes.
Counselor Sawyer.
Yes.
Thank you. Counselor McIntyre.
Yes.
Vice President Dolan.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
No?
Counselor Morrissey.
Yes.
Counselor Tavares.
No.
And President Kobus.
Yes.
All right. We have 7 yeas and 2 nays.
Motion passes.
That's all for human resources. I call for a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Counselor Waterman?
And this would be the committee.
Full council.
This is full council. I don't think you
All
have
full
anything.
council.
Nothing.
So, nothing to report, call for a committee meeting.
No,
at
I
the
have
next
nothing to
appropriate
report.
time. Thank
Call
you.
for committee at the next appropriate time.
Counselor Sawyer?
The Zoning, Land Use, and Sustainability Committee has nothing to report tonight, and I call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Counselor McIntyre?
Economic Development and Strategic Planning Committee has no business this evening. I would call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. And
Public Safety?
Yep.
Public Safety Committee has no business this evening, but I will, so it's canceled, but I will call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Vice President Dolan?
Public Works Committee has no business this evening, and I call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Counselor Reynolds?
City Property and Claims Committee has no business this evening, but I will call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Counselor Morrissey?
Public Works has no, you can have Public Works.
Your license.
I am licensed. The License Committee has no business this evening, and I will call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Counselor Tavares?
Ordinances has no business this evening. We call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Vice President Dolan for Finance?
Oh, Finance has no business tonight, and we call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Outstanding. There is no new business, there is no old business. Does anyone have any general announcements or anything to mention before we adjourn? And so we're going to adjourn and then continue on to committee meetings. And just so that everyone's aware, we'll do, so summer meeting, we do full council, then committee, and then on Thursday, we'll do committees and then full council. Because we did have a large number of items on the mayor's communication today, we do need to do the Thursday meeting. So Thursday will be committee and then full council. Vice President Dolan?
Yeah, so regarding the advertisement fees, I just wanted to give Jen a shout out, like a good shout out, because she's been amazing and
Yep.
she's really done a lot of work, and for her to bring this to our attention, kudos to her. She's been nothing but fantastic since the day she started, and thank you to the mayor for writing a letter.
Yeah, agreed. Anyone have anything else? With that said, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is in order. This requires a roll call vote, starting with Counselor Tavares.
Counselor Tavares.
Yes.
Counselor Morrissey. Yes. Counselor Reynolds.
Yes?
Vice President Dolan.
Yes.
Counselor McIntyre.
Yes.
Counselor Sawyer.
Yes.
Counselor Waterman.
Yes.
Counselor Angelo.
Yes.
President Kobus.
Yes.
We have 9 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you. We are adjourned. And we can start with committee meetings. And is Chief Hagney still? Okay.
I can discuss.
Okay. Then we can go in order and start with
Counselor Angelo.
Counselor Angelo. Okay.
Reporting for the Human Resources Veterans Committee, Councilors Tavares and Council Waterman are present. From the docket of July 23rd, 2026, I entertain a motion to confirm the following reappointments to positions for terms as indicated. Marcia Smith, Council on Aging, 4 years, February 2027 expires. Brian Hatch, Conservation Commission, 3 years, February 29th. Laura Wheeler, Historical Commission, 3 years, February 29th. Kurt Ween, Council on Aging, 4 years, February 30th.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Tavares. These are all reappointments, they've all done a lot of work, we had already gotten on Council on Aging, Kurt Wheaton, but then there was a miss of getting sworn in, so we got him back on here, so we'll get this taken care of, and he'll be able to chair the Council on Aging. He's done a great job over that in the years, and happy to get this taken care of. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. That's all for our Human Resources and Veterans Committee. I call for adjournment at 8:15.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Tavares. We are, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned at 8:15.
Call the Traffic and Transportation Committee to order at 8:15. One item of business this evening. From the docket of June 2nd, 2026, I would entertain a motion to strike Section 10-4.11 isolated stop signs of the revised ordinances as follows: to add northbound and southbound drivers on Benefit Street and Oak Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And the police chief was here to speak to this evening. He couldn't stay, I guess.
Can I say something?
Please.
Because he just happened to catch me because he couldn't stay, because,
Thank you.
we had a long beginning of the meeting, so. I entertain a motion, so this motion, as I'm reading it, doesn't say a motion to strike.
No, it says a motion to amend.
Okay, so this is just to let you know, this is the information that the chief provided to me. In the ordinances, northbound and southbound drivers on Benefit Street at Oak. That's already in the ordinances to have a stop sign. Where it got removed, this was back in 2000 that this was approved for the council, from the council, to add these stop signs, so it would be on Benefit Street, right? Right now, we have temporary stop signs on Oak.
Correct.
Those are temporary, those will be removed. They will be installed on Benefit Street. So, is that why you're moving to strike it? Or what do you, because I didn't see the words to strike.
I am moving to strike this because the police chief has informed me, and I wish he was here to tell us, that the way he understands the placement of stop signs, that it would go on the side street on Oak Street.
No. In the ordinances already, northbound and southbound drivers on Benefit Street at Oak. That was voted in 2000, right? Right now, those are gone. We don't know why they were removed. The chief is assuming, doesn't know for sure, that it might have been used as a traffic calming measure, which we don't do that.
Right.
And he doesn't agree with that, to use it as a traffic calming measure or a speed measure. So right now, there are 2 stop signs up at Oak Street, temporary. Those will be removed. Permanent stop signs will be on Benefit at Oak. So technically, you can strike this because it's already in the ordinances.
Because it's already in the ordinances.
Voted in 2000, and the stop signs removed.
And I will hold with my strike.
Okay.
And you still have the second there?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Shall we vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Without having. That is all the business I have this evening. We,
Don't you have one more?
No, I'm not gonna bring that out this evening,
Oh, okay.
because the police chief was here to talk specifically, mostly to that issue.
Well, he left me these photos of where the signs are gonna go. So, I mean, it's up to you if you wanted to vote it out.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, it's the first time I've seen these photos.
Yeah, so this is coming into the city, so you'll see the 3 signs, 2 on the left and 1 on the right.
Right.
Which they used to be signs there, but I think they
Right.
got mowed down.
So I would like to ask Councilor Morrissey, do you have any questions regarding what you're looking at? I'm just seeing this for the first time.
Yeah, no, I think this is very clear. I like this.
You like this? Then I will come out and I will entertain a motion to amend section 10-4.6, left turns prohibited, of the revised ordinances as follows: to add Pleasant Street at the Pleasant Street driveway of Stop and Shop, southbound traffic prohibited from making a left turn into Stop and Shop driveway, from Pleasant Street. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion, further discussion?
Yes, yeah, so this is, thanks, Council Waterman. So this is kind of, when I was looking at it myself, and this is how I envisioned it, and this is how I spoke to Michael Tyler at DPW, and this is how he envisioned it as well, and obviously, the Chief of Police, Hegney, had envisioned it this way too. So I think everybody's, from what I could see, is probably feeling that this is proper, this is what should be done, and I think that's gonna solve all the issues and hopefully take care of a dangerous issue that could possibly happen.
Oh, yeah.
Or continue to happen. So I'm very pleased with this.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak to this issue? So, I already forgot, did I hold the vote?
Yes, you got a second already.
I seconded it, but we
Okay,
didn't vote.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes. And that is all the business that we had this evening. And I call for the meeting to the end at 8:21. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are completed. Thank you.
I don't know. Can you tell if Lori's up there or not?
So the Zoom is down. Let's go move past Lori and we can come back.
Okay.
That's I'm trying to see if we can get the Zoom.
I don't
to
think
go.
she has anything
No,
anyway.
she doesn't. Do you want me to cancel?
Yeah, if you can cancel.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you
Oh, no,
don't
I
know
can't.
that
I'm
yet.
not on hers. I'm on
right.
something
I think I am.
else. Okay, yeah.
There's Lori. Hey, Lori, I apologize for the technical issues. We are at zoning and land use, and we just got to your committee. I don't think there's anything in your committee, but if you're ready, I don't know if you want to cancel. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can cancel the zoning, land use, and sustainability committee for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, and I apologize for the technical issues.
Okay. I call Economic Development and Strategic Planning Committee to order at 8:22. Councilors present, myself, Councilor Sawyer, and Vice President Dolan. We have one item of business this evening from the docket of June 2nd, 2026. I entertain a motion to amend the City of Attleboro zoning ordinance by adding a new section entitled Temporary Moratorium on Data Centers as follows. Data Center Moratorium, proposed ordinance amendments to Chapter 17-zoning of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro. Amendment 1, add new section 17-18.0 Data Center Moratorium as follows. 17-18.0 Data Center Moratorium. 17-18.1 Purpose. Whereas the proliferation of data center expansion in Massachusetts raises serious concerns about the massive amounts of water and electricity required to operate and cool equipment and the noise, air, and climate pollution generated by facilities. And whereas ensuring the protection of our local resources and quality of life requires the City of Attleboro to thoroughly review its zoning ordinances and land use regulations. which currently make no specific provision for data centers within the city, either by right or special use permit. And whereas the result of said review will be the adoption of appropriate revisions to Chapter 17 zoning of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro and any other related changes to land use regulations to govern the impact of these facilities. 17-18.2 definitions. Data centers, a building or series of buildings that houses and supports high-performance servers, storage systems, networking equipment, and related computing infrastructure and equipment necessary for storing, processing, and distributing data and applications. 17-18.3 temporary moratorium on data centers. The intent of this temporary moratorium is to provide the city an opportunity to better understand the impacts, if any, that the construction, expansion, and operation of data centers will have on city infrastructure, and more generally, the overall quality of life for the residences of Attleboro. 2. Accordingly, and notwithstanding any other provision of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro to the contrary, the city hereby adopts a temporary moratorium on the use of land or structures for data centers. The moratorium shall be in effect through July 1st, 2027, unless extended, modified, or rescinded by subsequent action of the municipal council or the result of ballot action by voters. 3. The use of land and or structures for data centers and or any related uses shall not be permitted in any zoning district in the city so long as this temporary moratorium is in effect. Use variance shall be strictly prohibited. 4. During the moratorium period, the city shall conduct an analysis and or a comprehensive study to determine the impact of said construction on police, fire, and emergency public safety, the school district, water, sewer, roadway infrastructures, and the safety of the general public. This list of potential impacts is not exhaustive and may include additional impacts as identified. 5. In the event of any conflict between the provisions of this ordinance and any other applicable state or local law, the stricter provisions, as deemed by the building inspector, shall control. 6. The provisions of the ordinance are severable. If any provision, paragraph, sentence, or clause of the ordinance is found to be invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions or applications of this ordinance to the extent permitted by law. 17-18.4 effective date. This ordinance shall become effective upon its passage. Amendment 2, add item 17, data centers, to section 17-3.4, table of use regulations, principal uses, wholesale, transportation, and industrial as follows.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Obviously, so it's been about a month since we had the public hearing on this, and I think many of us have likely received continued comments from the public. This is something that I support. While I believe economic development is important, we need to look at it from the lens of whether or not our community can sustainably support one of these facilities. Given that we already have struggles with our water supply and the sheer massive amounts of water that these facilities use, the impact on electricity rates, which are already struggling for families, as well as the reported and observed quality of life issues around these facilities, I think at a minimum being able to pass this moratorium to give our city staff the time to craft the regulations to mitigate those, or an all-out ban, whatever action is to follow, I think is appropriate, and I would support this message. Any other comments? Vice President Dolan.
So I agree with all your comments. I believe that this is an evolving process as far as data centers go. I know some communities that approved them prior are now rolling it back because they've seen the effects. And I also agree that I don't believe, as I sit here today, that Attleboro has the infrastructure for this. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to propose an amendment for the moratorium to be in effect till July 1st, 2031.
Second. Oh, sorry, not on the committee.
Second.
Also,
I'm not on the committee.
Can Lauren hear us?
Councilor Sawyer, can you hear us?
Yes, I can now.
Okay.
First, I wanted to say that, yes, I totally agree and support a moratorium on these data centers because...
But, quick question. First, Vice President Dolan has proposed an amendment. Did you want to second that amendment to change the date effective through July 1st, 2031?
My apologies, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why would you have any date at all to have this end?
Well, I'm certainly not a lawyer by trade, and my guess is that because the nature of this moratorium is temporary, that if there is no kind of date when it would sunset effectively, it wouldn't in fact be a permanent ban, which I don't think we could do through this procedure that we're using, is my understanding. Vice President Dolan.
Right, and I agree with that, as well as like the table of use and having our planning and zoning have, to put any research into this is gonna take time. We wanna make sure we do it right and that we're fair about it. That's just my opinion. That's probably why there is an end date. But obviously, new business can come in, things can be changed, but I think it's just such an evolving process that I think it's gonna require a lot of work. And data centers may change over the next couple of years. So I think to give Gary and his folks time to really research this and make really good judgment, I think that's why I'd like to extend it to 5 years.
Thank you. So the amendment remains on the floor. Councilor Sawyer, would you like to second?
Yes, I'll second.
Thank you. The amendment is in order. Any comments on the amendment? Seeing none, we'll vote. All those in favor? Oh, sorry. Oh, Councilor.
So first of all, I'm not on the committee, but I am very supportive of this, and I think with our infrastructure, generally speaking, I am supportive of technology and all sorts of things technology related. The biggest thing we heard during the public hearing is that Attleboro does not have the water infrastructure to support this. And as you said, Councilor McIntyre, we don't have the water infrastructure. We don't have the electrical infrastructure. So putting this temporary moratorium in place is incredibly important. Extending it out 5 years, putting it in place through July of next year is not enough time for us to do a study. That's not nearly enough time. So extending it out to 5 years makes a lot of sense. It gives us the time to do the study, and then if we do the study and find out magically we have miracle water that can support this infrastructure, then great, we can rescind it. They're the revised ordinances for a reason. So I don't see any reason not to extend it out 5 years. It makes perfect sense. It gives us the time to do what we need to do the research we need.
Thank you, President Kobus. Councilor Tavares.
Thank you. So I just have one hesitation with the with that outside date of 5 years. My understanding, and I think perhaps this might be worth looking into. And this is along the lines of the comment that you made, Councilor McIntyre, is that I don't know what's considered reasonable for a temporary moratorium, whether it's data centers or something else, and maybe it's fact specific depending on the nature of the ordinance. 5 years might be reasonable. I don't know. It sounds like a lot. Now, will we need 5 years? Maybe it's possible. I wonder if it makes sense to, before voting on it as a full council, make sure that that's still considered reasonable for an ordinance that is characterized as a temporary moratorium. And I don't know if that has to be something like, if 3 years is considered reasonable, 5 isn't, or maybe 5 is but 7 isn't. I don't know, and I know it's sort of the Wild West. It's uncharted territory, but that would be. I would almost personally, just off the cuff, probably be more likely to support something that was open-ended, quite frankly. But that would be my only hesitation. So.
I appreciate the comments. Thank you. Vice President Dolan.
So I understand what you're saying about being more open-ended. I mean, if you put the vote for me right now, I'd ban them forever. Done. Never in our city. That's how I feel. But this is what's before us now. And, temporary, definition of temporary, like that there is an end in sight. I mean, I guess what we could do if we, pass this out, the 5-year, if we pass it out of committee, you could, if you wanted to, look into other language that, I think, because I just wanted it to be, because I don't think a year is long enough. And you know how the city is, especially Gary's office is just busy all the time. I just wanted to make sure that we made good decisions. And the good decision might be ban it completely in every, residential, business, and industrial area, whatever they decide to do with this table of use. I just wanted to buy more time for them to be able to do it. I mean, I don't have a problem with the word temporary and it being 5 years because there is an end date. I'm not sure if temporary has a definition of 1 year, 6 months, whatever. That's just my thought on that, and that would give them time. And maybe, we could bring new business in, and if the planning board looks at it, and if everybody doesn't want them at all, we could just do the table of use of no across the board, exactly how it looks here, and just call it a day. I'd be on board with that for sure.
Councilor Angelo?
Thank you, Councilor McIntyre. Y'all have a lot of good points, and I personally don't know enough about these data centers. And right now, 100% we can't support, all this water and all this extra electricity that is, and infrastructure that is being used towards this. So obviously it's very smart to do that. What I don't know in getting to Councilor Tavares' open-ended is, which I get, I completely understand that too as well, is do we know, with technology changing all the time, I know I need to get a little bit more information or a lot more information on, is there something in the future where also the data centers change where you wouldn't need the water and all this added electricity? I don't know. And if we did the 5 years, can that be changed if all of a sudden the technology changes and we cancel it, or if it's, what's better, open-ended or the 5 years? And because I think you both have some really good, ideas on both sides. I just don't know enough about the data centers, but I think I know enough that right now there's no way the city could handle this. And if it stays that it takes up the amount of water that it's using and the electricity, the city would never be able to handle that, ever. But I just don't know.
I saw Councilor Tavares first, and then
Go right ahead.
So just to be clear, that's just a question about the legality of the ordinance and not about practicality. Practically speaking, it could take years, to your point, Councilor Dolan. So it's not a comment about the practicality behind it. It's, at the end of the day, could that be viewed as by a court as like essentially that, hey, look, we're banning them under the guise of a temporary moratorium? It would almost be better, right? To your point, Councilor Dolan, that would be my concern, right? Like, that's making a judgment that, hey, we shouldn't put, which that might be a legitimate position, right? And that might be a position that this council takes or a future council takes. But it would actually probably be better to be clear about that as opposed to maybe a temporary moratorium and pushing it so far out that effectively it's a full ban, if that makes sense.
And I appreciate the comments there. And one thing, I even if this amendment passed, I'd still like to move it out of committee, but I do want to do my due diligence and follow up with the city staff and clarify that before it goes before the full council. Because the last thing I want to have this do is, if we end up passing this, then it blows back on us and we get challenged in court and it's invalid and then we start from zero. So I would ensure that we do due diligence before we pass this.
And if you could just, if the amendment passes, if you could just run it past the solicitor and just make sure that he
That's what I
double
wanted.
check to see if he has any concerns.
Vice President Dolan.
I believe this language came from the mayor, and I believe it was already run by the solicitor. So I believe the only thing you would have to run by him is the 5 years. So I Googled the word temporary. Lasting for a short time, not permanent. It describes something that will end, change, or go away after a limited period. So, anyway.
Yeah.
I would like to extend it. We can certainly run it by, and I'm not the attorney, but we can certainly run it by Peter. If you look up the definition, I think it's legal, and it's just to buy time to make good decisions, period, full stop. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I'm not gonna belabor it.
Appreciate it. Any other comments on the amendment? Seeing none, we shall vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Amendment passes 3-0. We return to the main motion as amended, now with an effective date of July 1st, 2031. Any additional comments on the motion as amended?
May I just ask a question?
Sure. Counselor Sawyer.
I think you had just mentioned that it would be effective as of July 2031. That would be the deadline for right now, correct?
Did I say effective? I meant to say that
In effect. I think
it
you
would
said
be in
in
effect
effect
through
until-
July 1st, 2031. I apologize if I misspoke.
Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no comments, we shall vote on the motion as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? None. Motion passes 3-0. That concludes the business for the Economic Development and Strategic Planning Committee. I call for an adjournment at I motion to adjourn at 8:40.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
We are adjourned.
Okay. Public Safety Committee has no business this evening and is canceled.
I would like to call the Public Works Committee to order at 8:41. And I have myself, Council Angelo, and Council Reynolds. I have 2 items. From the docket of July 23rd, 2026, I entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on September 15, 2026, regarding a petition from Verizon to place 1 2-inch underground telecommunications conduit along the northerly side of Dora Lane, beginning at existing pole T 8161.
Second.
Thank you. So this and the next motion, we originally had them scheduled for tonight, but they couldn't make the public hearing, so they asked for it to be extended out to September 15th. So that's what we're doing. Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of July 23rd, 2026, I entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on September 15th, 2026, regarding a petition from Verizon to place 1 2-inch underground telecommunications conduit along the northwest side of Joe Paul Drive.
Second.
Thank you. Same as the one above, they just couldn't make the last meeting. Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And that is all I have tonight for the Public Works Committee, and I'd like to call for an adjournment at 8:43.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
I'd like to call City Property and Claims Committee to order at 8:43.
Second.
Thank you. The docket, from the docket. Let's see, I entertain a motion to declare the following designated school department items as surplus and available for disposition. 1 Challenge drill press, 1 HP printer, 1 Roby offset duplicator press, and 300 damaged library books. And this is from the docket of July 23rd, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or concerns? I think it's pretty self-forward. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're missing J, so 2 ayes, and that is passed. Thank you. I entertain a motion from the docket of July 23rd, 2026, to declare the following designated police department vehicles as surplus and available for disposition to sell or for trade in value. 2014 Ford Explorer, VIN number 1FM5K8ARXEG C26651. The mileage is 145,865. It's in poor condition. A 2015 Ford Explorer, VIN number 1FM5K8AR2 FGB 92075, 136,260 miles, poor condition. A 2015 Ford Explorer, VIN number 1FM5K8AR3 FGA 15924, mileage is 117,024, and it's in poor condition. A 2017 Ford Explorer, VIN number 1FM5K8ARXHGA 77470, with 128,793 miles, poor condition. A 2017 Ford Explorer, VIN number 1FM5K8AR1HGA 77471, 128,442 miles, poor condition. A 2018 Ford Explorer, 1FM5K8AR1JGC17685 with 126,561 miles, also in poor condition. And the last one, 2018 Ford Explorer, VIN number 1FM5K8ARXJGC17684 with 123,128 miles, and this too is in poor condition.
Second.
Thank you. Again, pretty self-explanatory. The cars get beat up. So that's the final word on it. Any other questions, concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. That motion passes. And that is all the business that our City Property and Claims Committee has this evening. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 8:46.
Second.
Thank you. We are adjourned. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned at 8:46.
I call the License Committee to order at 8:46. Members present include myself and Councilor Waterman. Before we start, I want to ask about this piece of business, to approve the request for review of business practices. Is that where we would open up the License Committee to call in 100% Auto?
Where
It's
are
the
we?
second piece of business.
So, are you good with me speaking?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to vote it. You can call him anytime you want.
Oh, okay.
So, what I would do it during the summer. I would probably do like your first committee in September, and
Have him come in.
have him come in and explain
Okay.
what's going on with this.
Yeah,
particular
because,
case.
when I reached out to the mayor at the beginning of this, she sort of indicated, and again, I would need to ask you, that I should talk to legal counsel before we bring him in, so we know what we can and can't do, because it's not the first time that he's been here. So, does that
Yeah,
sound
I mean,
correct?
you could talk to Peter Mello. We do have.
Well, I don't know that I know I need permission
Right.
from.
But I don't think there's really anything that we cannot ask him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said before, it's not a right. He doesn't have a right to this license. It's a privilege.
Yeah, but I think that's what she was sort of indicating, is that I shouldn't just yank a license without.
No. Nobody's
We're
saying
not.
it. No, we're just talking to him. Nobody's saying anything about yanking a license.
Yeah.
I would suggest do it as sooner rather than later. This poor person's waited since January 29th. So, like,
Yeah, I mean, it's your committee. You can do it anytime you want. That's not anybody else's decision.
We can talk later.
Okay.
I do give you permission to talk to the solicitor about that. Let's be very clear. Let's ask what our options are before us. Like Vice President Dolan said, there's nothing wrong with inviting this individual and this company before us to talk to us. We are not talking about revoking a license. That is not something that's we are talking about, but we should talk to the solicitor to understand sort of what our legal bounds are and understand where we need to be careful, because it would be good to make sure that we are careful.
So in a nutshell, you don't have to vote anything out.
Okay.
There's nothing to vote.
All right, then there was one piece of business tonight. From the docket of June 2nd, 2026, I entertain a motion to approve a new Class 2 license application from McCawtaw MA2 Inc., doing business as Pete's RV Center, 800 Washington Street, with 7 customer parking spaces and 60 display spaces.
Second.
They did get permission also from the building inspector to store RVs on the adjoining property across the road. So on the same side of Route 1, but across like a small little side road. So they are storing them currently on both. Sales would only take place at the closer one, 800. The other one was be for storage only. So if anyone has any questions, comments.
This was 21 Washington Street.
800.
Auto Maze? Was
No,
it
no,
Auto Maze?
800 Washington.
Why am I looking at the wrong one?
It's right,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, it used to be a car
Being
dealership,
put-
and
Yeah.
the general practice has always been, anybody that's been in there, they've always used that, a lot right next door, and it's got a building there as well, too.
Yeah,
It's-
I wanted to look at it. I think it's the old, oh no, it's the, yeah, I remember which one it is and what the lot is next door.
Yeah.
All right. Apologies. Thank you. Thank you for indulging me there for a second.
Up there. So really, it's.
Oh, there's plenty of room
Plenty
for
of room.
60
Yeah.
spaces, even on just the one lot, I thought, when I went down, but, you know, if they're more comfortable to spread them out, that's fine. Any objections, anything else? Hearing none, I call for a vote. Did I get it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
Yes.
That concludes the business for the License Committee. I call for,
Can I ask a question
sure.
before we go any further? Are there any other issues that anyone else has expressed regarding 100% auto besides the lady we met tonight?
To me, no.
Okay.
I have the Mitsubishi thing, which has escalated even further. I guess Mitsubishi hired some company to repossess the man's truck. So that was the communication in the clerk's notice. You might not have read the email yet, but
No, we didn't get, I didn't get it.
it's been escalating between what's going on down there. So that's a whole different fun
It's a different
licensing issue. All right, anything else?
No, that was my question.
Okay, that concludes the business for the License Committee. I move to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:53.
And the ordinances committee is canceled.
Finance Committee is canceled.
I'm looking over that thing. I'm like, wait,